Hello and welcome back to another episode of Creative Lens. I'm your host, Uncle Dyce, aka Malume. And today's guest has been a long time coming. She's part of the creative scene in the city, young, successful businesswoman. She is very vocal and passionate about her craft. She makes me laugh all the time when I see her post on the socials. Allow me to introduce you to a very special young lady, Miss Lorraine. How you doing?
Uncle Dyce, I'm good. How are you?
What's going on?
A lot, man, but we're moving. We keep it moving.
You keep moving. It's a Friday today.
Yes.
How's your Friday?
Start of the weekend. It's very hot today.
Yes, I know, right?
It's hot. I'm hot and bothered, but we're here. We made it, and I'm just so grateful to be here with you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. You know what? I just want to run you through an idea I had. You know, in the beginning, I was naming the shows like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and I think we just got to a point with the team where we decided, no, man, let's just not label the episodes anything. This is now the Lorraine episode.
Mm-hmm, period.
Yeah, period. Today's Friday. Today's Friday. What day is Friday? What day is it? I mean, it's Friday.
It's the 21st.
Yeah.
Of
So
February.
so this is how we're going to bookmark this episode.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Friday, 21 February 2025, and we are here now. And yeah, man, how's been the week for you?
This week has been pretty. I mean, I've had to catch up on a lot because I was at a conference last week for 3 days,
Wow.
a business conference. And at the conference, they didn't allow us to use our laptops or work. Yeah, we had to. But the point of that was for them to teach us that, or to challenge us actually, because the main lesson of, or what I took away from the conference was that you need to be replaceable in your business. Your business needs to be able to function without you. So, because I obviously wasn't prepared for that.
How did that go?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared. I thought I'd have time, but I didn't. After the conference, we were just networking and got home at 10 o'clock every night. So I didn't work. So this week was just a lot of catching up that I had to do. Yeah.
But how was that? I mean, I love the fact that, because as entrepreneurs, we are like the nucleus of our business, especially in the early stages of the business that we have. How was that experience for you?
To be outside of the business.
Yeah, no, just to not touching your laptop.
Yeah.
And because I know there's also that anxiety that comes with, hey, what about if client emails? You know, like because we also get a lot of that, right? How was that for you?
I was very anxious, I'm not going to lie. And my poor content manager, because it's only the two of us most of the time, and we work with a bunch of freelancers. So we are very much into the operations of the business. And when I'm not there, I obviously need to hand over to her and to just trust her just trust her process.
Wow.
And I think the first day was a bit frustrating because there was obviously clients messaging us, emailing us, and I didn't have time to get back to them. Or if I did, someone was always just coming up to me and talking to me.
Wow.
Because I mean, it was a networking event, so I don't blame them. But I had to get over that anxiety very quickly and just allow her to do her thing and trust her. So that was also a lesson in itself. Like if you are a team and if you have someone on your team, you should be able to trust them to take on the things that you can't when you're not there or when you're not able to. And she did very well. She's also still young. She's a Gen Z creative. And we were just chatting about this. So she has her own way of doing things, and a new way of doing things. Very fresh, very out of the box, unorthodox. Especially when you come from an agency where there's a lot of rules and regulations.
Red tape.
Gen Zs don't like that at all. They don't like rules. So I love that she kind of like takes me out of that box and like teaches me like you can do it in a different way, She's very good with our clients as well. So
which is good. And that's the thing, like I know we spoke about the Gen Z young creatives and especially the young kids who are going the unconventional way, you know, because most are going to university, you know, and they're going to all the spaces. So speaking of young, I mean, maybe let's just take it all the way to the beginning. Tell us a little bit more about how you grew up, and are you based in Cape Town? Are you originally from Cape Town? Maybe let's go back to the beginning.
Let's take it back.
Yes, let's take
to
it
where
back.
It all started.
To where it all started, yes.
Yo, it was a rough start, I'm not going to lie. I am originally from Athlone. My mom is also from Athlone. My biological dad's from Athlone. So grew up there, but also grew up in Strandfontein, Mitchell's Plain.
Shout out to Athlone.
Shout out to Athlone.
Jesse and Jason are also from Athlone.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I know that. It's a small world.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, no, we definitely bonded on that. When we talk, we definitely bond on the Athlone experience.
So where'd you go to school?
I went to school in Strandfontein. I actually went to 4 schools in my life.
Wow. And how was that? Maybe let's go back to your school times. Were you a sports kid? How was that for you?
I was never a sports kid. I tried swimming and I was very good at it. I still am a very good swimmer. I love the water. I love being in the water.
Yeah.
But I was always the artsy girl, the one that loved to break the rules. I was the rebel. I was the I was the fire. I remember me as a young girl. I was very strong-willed, had a lot of like fire in me, had a lot of guts. I was very daring. I just loved doing things that everyone didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And I also loved breaking the rules. But yeah, my early like I said, I had a rough upbringing, but it doesn't define me, you know. Yeah. But it also kind of like molded me and shaped me into the woman that I am today. So I can't really say that it didn't have an impact on me. I mean, growing up in 2 different worlds, Athlone and Strandfontein is 2 different worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm grateful to have had that experience, you know. I'm grateful to have had family in 2 parts of Cape Town to teach me that not every place is the same. It also helped me to adapt. So I think that's one of my biggest and most favorite traits is that I can adapt easily,
Resilient.
like to any environment.
Oh man!
So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
About you coming up, and this is going to your teens. And where did your love for creative arts come? Was it college? How were you navigating the space to how you got to where you are today?
So that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
I left my first high school, Muizenberg High, to go to an arts-focused school. One day I was just like, you know what, I'm done with this school, with this high school. I don't fit in here. I spoke to my mom and I was like, do you think I could change schools? And then they asked me why, and I said, I just want to do more art, see things. I don't feel like I fit in here. I don't feel like I fit in with the people. I feel misunderstood. And remember, I'm like 13 years old. Because I went early to school as well. So this was around the beginning of grade 9.
Okay.
And that's the thing what I love that about my parents is that they always supported me. So I would come to them with an idea and they would be like, okay, but how are you going to do this? So they would always support me and guide me through it. And then we started looking for schools and I ended up going to Wynberg High.
Shout out to Wynberg High.
Shout out to Wynberg High. That school was rough. And listen, it wasn't Wynberg Girls, right? It was Wynberg High, the public school, that one there in the main road. It was that school.
You have to say the one in the main road.
The one in the main road. So, yeah. Ended up going there and then I loved it so much because I could just feel that the energy was different and I excelled in that school. I did art, I did design.
Wow.
I did a bit of drama, I did a bit of dance. And because I think the reason why I fit in there so easily and so quickly, like I could just like come to the school. Like I think in my first week I probably made like a whole bunch of friends already. Like I had a group of friends. It's because everyone there was also creatives.
Yes. So you were home?
I was home. I swear to you, it was rough, but I just felt like I'm home. Like anyone that knows Wynberg High, it used to be Abbey Hall. Anyone that knows that school knows it was rough back in the days. I matriculated in 2013, so you can think, it was so long ago.
That's 15 years ago. Wow, okay.
Hey, hold up. A little bit less. Can we?
No, okay, yeah, man. But so this is you in high school, and what's your journey after that?
After high
How
school.
do you navigate after high school? What happens then?
In high school, I just want to tell you this story about.
No, sure.
When I fell in love with art, visual art specifically.
Please, the floor is yours.
So every term we used to go to this art center called Frankie Obert. And that used to be the one thing I used to look forward to. Like, I loved this place because it took me out of school, it took me out of learning, and I could just draw and paint and everything all day, right? And I think after, like, my first year of experiencing Frankie Obert, I had this, like, dream or this vision. I was delusional. That's the best way to go about life, by the way. Be the Lulu.
Yeah, you got to.
And listen, I'm like 16, 17 years old, and I'm just like, I want to have the same thing like this. I want to have a Frankie Obert. I want to build a center like this, but for people like me, make it more accessible.
Yeah.
Because I only, like I said, I only went there once a term, and we would go 2 or 3 days in a row. But I would have loved to go every week.
Yeah.
You know, because that would have been my place of like solitude. That would have been my place, like, to just get away and just like focus on the art. When I left school, when I matriculated, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. But, you know, colored parents, you have to do something. You can't take a gap year.
I know, right?
And then I went to CPUT for their open day with my mom, and I saw it was either between interior design or it was photography. And I loved photography. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this. And that's where it all started, I guess, my career.
What, you did photography?
Yes, I studied photography.
Oh, my word. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I actually studied for 2 years. It was a 3-year program. I dropped out after 2 years. But I have 2 years knowledge, yes.
Okay.
And that's where it started. So while I was studying, I was always also a hustler. So I was just like, because people started asking me, hey, can you take pictures of this? Can you do this? Can you? And then I just started doing it, and I started charging them for it. You know, it was like a 200 rand year, 500 rand year.
So
you know,
entrepreneurship has always been in your blood, clearly.
Yeah, it has. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it comes from, but it's always been me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this time you drop out third year. How does your journey progress from there?
Then I wanted to travel.
Oh.
I just had to come up with a plan. Like I said, my parents would let me do anything as long as there was a plan behind it.
Yes.
And so I went to them and I was like, okay, here's this au-pair program one of my friends are doing. I want to do this. This is how I'm going to do it. I already applied for my passport. Like, I had the money and stuff. We just had to do like some fundraising here and there. But so that was the plan after that. I traveled for a year, came back. And
so where did you go to?
I went to America.
Oh, how was that? Which part?
What a experience, I'm not gonna lie.
No, America is, and everything's like big, right?
Everything, it's so grand. It's like it's so overdone. Like,
I know, it's just big. Everything's just like, I know that.
Yeah, so I was in Maryland
okay.
For the year that I was there. And I actually got the idea of marketing from my host mother. She was a single mom at the time. And
so this is you in America?
Yeah, this is me in America. This is just a story of how I got into like my next phase of my life. Obviously traveled a lot there with her and like outside of the family. But I had a conversation with her one day and I just asked her like how she got into marketing, because she was a single mom. She had a Range Rover.
Wow.
And I'm this 20-year-old girl. And I'm like thinking, wow, this is so cool. You know, like she did it. Like she made it. She's able to afford me, so obviously she made it in life.
Yeah, definitely she made it. True.
And I had a conversation with her one day, and I asked her, like, why are you doing marketing? Like, do you love what you do? She was the head of Edelman, the marketing department in Edelman at that time. It was a big firm. And she was like, no. I asked her if she's passionate about it, and she said, no, she's not passionate about it, but she's really good at it. And that kind of stuck with me.
I know, right? That's
it
deep.
stuck, yes.
That's very deep.
And I thought about it because at this phase of my life, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. And then I realized, like, I don't always have to be passionate about the things that I do, especially now in my early years, right? I'm 20 years old, but I just need to find something that I'm good at and just let it feed me. And then eventually I'll come across the passion, you know. I knew I was an artist. I knew I was a creative. It wasn't working out at that time. Like, just imagine I'm 19. I don't know how. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you can.
I don't know how the fuck to run a business. But I'm busy. I'm charging people. I'm invoicing people. You know, it didn't work out. It failed. Like, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, the photography failed. And then I came back and I worked for a bit. I did so much. I did administration. I just did odd jobs here and there for like about 2 years.
But those are also crazy building blocks.
Yes.
To character, it tests you differently.
Yeah, even just professionalism.
Yes.
You know, just having that experience. Because I work with a lot of people who they just study or they do a course and then they go into business. They don't have any form of like professionalism. They have no like experience in agency. Yes. So it's more difficult for them.
Yes,
because they're learning along the way.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? It's only now, like when, even for me to understand that, it became something very easy for me in organizations. When you deal with people, you can quickly say, there's something missing from that guy, you know, like, or that person. Yeah. And usually, because if you've never really worked, you tend to do things that you'll be like, okay, I think he's never really worked before. That's why he's doing it. You can tell.
You can always tell. I can always tell when someone has never had a job before.
Wow, okay.
I can tell.
So, okay, cool. So you're doing the jobs at this time. How is that?
I'm doing these jobs and it was horrible. Like, imagine me, can picture me as a receptionist. No.
I know, right?
But I was.
I know, right?
I was a receptionist girlie in Montague Gardens.
And you're strong-willed. And you're quite, because you're quite strong-willed person, right?
Thank you.
And yeah, you'll be tested a lot as a receptionist.
Exactly.
Before you lose your shit.
Exactly. I was tested by outsiders. I was tested by insiders. Okay. But it built me. It like I grew through that, you know. And I also thank those people who gave me that opportunity. I worked in retail as well, and then eventually I found a course that I could do my degree, because I didn't want to do like anything less than a degree. I didn't want to do a short course. I wanted a degree. Yes. I wanted something to my name, especially I wanted to prove to myself and my parents that I could actually finish something.
Nice.
Because I didn't finish photography, even though I'm so good at it. I didn't like the theory of it.
Okay.
And I know that it's important, and I'm not dismissing the fact that it's good to know the theory of photography and the history of it and the history of art, etc. But at that point in my life, I just felt like I just wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
Why am I reading books and books and books? I just want to shoot, man.
And that's it.
And you know what? That is the best way to learn how to do it. It's just pick up the camera and just do it, you know. And then, where was I?
I know you were planning to do the degree.
Yeah.
But you wanted to do something, not a short course?
Yeah.
Or something for a test for yourself and your parents.
So I wanted to prove to myself and my parents that I could finish something. And then I went and I studied. I did a double major in BCom, Business and Marketing Management.
Ooh, congrats, yeah.
She has the degree. Hopefully, I wrote a goal down the other day of possibly getting my master's.
Okay.
But we'll see how it goes.
Oh, no, but congrats. You did that. And you finished it.
And I finished and I graduated during COVID, but I still graduated.
Oh, man. Hey,
I didn't have that experience, you know.
Of walking up, yes. But either way, you finished it, right?
I finished, yeah.
So where does life take you after this?
Then it was COVID and I went into full survival mode. In my head, I always wanted to have a business. So regardless of me studying, like when I was studying, actually that first year, I had a business. I had a clothing boutique.
Oh.
And it was called Pretty Bird Boutique. And
okay.
The real ones will know. Pretty Bird Boutique.
Okay, where does Pretty Bird come from? Okay, pause. Let's just segue off that. let's just put that on hold for now.
We're going to take it back.
Let's take it back. Where does Pretty Bird come from? Maybe give us, because clearly Pretty Bird is a very strong brand for you. So can you just give us a little bit more on why Pretty Bird and what is Pretty Bird?
Pretty Bird started in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long this brand has been standing.
Oh,
FYI.
10 years ago.
So, funny story. I love Janae Aiko.
Okay.
And she just released the album around that time. And she has a song called Pretty Bird Freestyle with Common.
Yes.
It's featuring Common. And I was going through a breakup.
Oh, I'm Cholo, hurt you. Yeah.
Yo. I was heartbroken.
And Janelle is the right artist for heartbreak.
Literally. And around that same time, I just started uni at CPUT, and Instagram, social media was like just
starting.
It was literally just starting. It was starting here. And then I got an Instagram account, and I think my name was like Lauren something on there at first. And then because I was going through this breakup and I really loved the song, like I was playing the song every single day.
Wow.
I was sad. But it spoke to me. And even if I do listen to it now, I still connect to it. And not because of what happened then, but just because it's a song for like every phase of your life.
Yeah, you've taken the power.
Exactly.
Your power back.
Exactly. This is line. There's just a lot of messages in that song that I really love.
So tell us a line from the song that you wanted to quote.
Every time. So Common says, I might be wrong, but Common says something, sitting on a window of pain, simple and plain.
Oh,
I don't know, that always just his words, like the way his wordplay, it's amazing.
And it's Common, obviously.
He's amazing. And yeah, I changed my name to Pretty Bird.
Wow.
That's how obsessed I was.
I know, like that's dope.
And
that's dope.
At campus, everyone was asking everyone for the Instagram handles at that point, at that time. And mine was Pretty Bird. And then everyone started calling me Pretty Bird. Like nobody knew my name, but they knew Pretty Bird.
Oh wow.
Up until this day, people don't know that my name is actually Lauren. But they know Pretty Bird. And I kept it like that because it just seemed like it stuck to people.
No, it works. Like, I love it. Like, it works. So now you're at first year varsity and you start a clothing brand called Pretty Bird. Tell us more about the first clothing brand.
Dude, So I love fashion. My mom's a dressmaker. So she's always made our clothes. And I remember when I was younger, I always used to cut up her old clothes. She used to be mad at me, though. Used to cut things up and then make it into other things. So I loved working with my hands. And then I think a year before I started studying, I started Pretty Bird & Co. And I loved it.
Wow. So what were you selling? What pieces did you have at this time?
So it was girly clothes.
Okay.
It was bodycons. It was 2-piece sets. But it was very much like fashionable and like out of the box. Like I used to look for specific prints, specific colors. It wasn't like the normal things that you'll find at like H&M. Not even like you see Fashion Nova clothes.
Yes.
It wasn't like that. It was very much.
It was very bespoke and different.
Yeah.
Okay. But since your mom was a dressmaker, I take it you make clothes.
Yes.
Yeah, by default. I already believe you can make clothes.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay.
And then that happened, and around the same time I started uni for the second time. And then I remember one day in class they were asking like, so what do you guys do? What do you guys want to do? And I stood up and I was like, I'm Lauren and I have a fashion brand. And everyone was like, wow, she has her own business and she's studying business. And I was like, yes, I do. But I ended up closing that business as well. It was very much a strategic type of move because I think with fashion, number one, even though I love fashion and I know how to make clothes, I wasn't passionate about it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's also, I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's so expensive. So I wasn't willing to take that risk.
Okay.
And then, I closed it, but I do have a goal, and I would like to open it up again in future. But when I have the budget for it,
it will happen.
I want to do it in millions. You know what I mean? Like I want to be on some Rihanna shit.
I know.
Like I want to be on levels when I
and that's
start
possible. It's going to be done.
Exactly.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
So now at varsity, you close up. So was it like second year that you closed it up, or?
I think I closed it up around the time when like COVID started.
Oh yeah, yes. Okay. That was COVID.
And then my mom and I started making face masks during COVID. So we were hustling face masks, and it was
you've got to adapt. That was the hustle back then.
And then when COVID finished, like I said, I went into the survival mode, and I was just like, I need to get a job.
So you graduated at this time?
I graduated,
okay, cool.
And then just before I graduated, the new year came, and I was like, hey, I need to get a job. I cannot be broke.
Hey, tell me about it.
Right now, during COVID, no. This was like towards the end of COVID. Like things were now starting to
open up a bit.
Yeah, to open up more.
So you're at home all the time?
I was at home.
So from a creative perspective, what were you doing? Yes, I know you were making masks. Yes, that was kind of almost like the daily stuff.
Yeah.
But what were you doing as a creative? Were you still taking pictures? Were you creating content? Maybe just tell us a little bit more during the time of COVID. What else were you getting up to? Outside, obviously, the making clothes side. But from a creative point, were you still harnessing that? Were you still channeling that energy?
I was. So I was chronically online.
Well, we all were.
And then with that also came, okay, I can get creative in my room. So I used to make, you won't see it on YouTube now, but because I hid it away. But I used to make YouTube videos a lot. I made a couple during COVID. I used to love doing my makeup, like tutorials, like girly videos. I used to love doing my makeup. I used to love doing hair tutorials, like all of that. Yeah.
Such girly.
Literally.
Wow.
And I was doing that, and I was going live on Instagram a lot. I was doing like small little shoots, even if it was on my phone. I was doing it, in my room, like dressing up, like doing creative things. I'll show you some of the pictures after this.
Please do, because I
playing with lighting, because I had a small space. It was my room, right? Yeah. It was a very small space, so I had to make do with what I had. I was playing with lighting. I was playing with like textures. Just that to keep me busy. I also love cooking, so I was cooking a lot during COVID.
What's your favorite dish?
What's my favorite dish?
Yeah.
So I love making butter chicken or any type of curry. I love it.
You have to make me some butter chicken.
I will.
Please. No, please.
I got you. I promise.
If there's one thing I struggle to cook, is butter chicken.
For me, it's the easiest thing to make. And that's why I love cooking it, because every time I make it, I try something new. Or I try something different. Like I try different spice, or I just try a different like way of like making it like foundationally. Or I'll like make a different bread with it. So
you love to cook, you make up. Wow. What don't you do?
I don't take shit from anyone. That's what I don't do. Period.
Oh wow. Okay, so now COVID passes by. Let's go to that to the next job. Were you linked in? Like, what was your process in getting the job at this particular time?
Like I said, I was in survival mode, and I probably applied to like 50 places. It was crazy, and only 2 got back to me. One sent me this questionnaire. I don't even remember the company, but one sent me a questionnaire, and they were like, answer this question before you can get into the next round. Why are agencies like that? Like, I know we're gonna get to this, but I once went through an interview process. Yes. No, it was 5. There was like 5 phases to it. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Look, a lot of things are really broken at agencies, and especially when it comes to legacy systems and platforms. Sure. They're just so outdated, and many a times, unfortunately, with many of the businesses, they're not really in touch with local trends or habits. So you see that this model, it comes from the United States. They're just retrofitting it to say we have to go through this. It doesn't really work. To your point, you're highlighting your frustration.
Exactly.
To this. Oh wow. Okay.
We got to agency already, no?
Yeah, no, I'm not yet. No, I'm not jumping the gun yet. There was a precursor. There was a precursor COVID is happening. You're looking for a job.
Yeah.
What happens from there?
2 places get back to me. I didn't get through the second round of the first place. And then the second place gets back to me, and it's a small agency in Stellenbosch. And like really small, like boutique agency. And we do the interview, and they're like, okay, how soon can you start? And I'm just like, next week. Like I can, but this was like on a Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, so it was like Monday.
So I was like, I can start Monday if you want me to start. And okay, the ride with I don't want to talk bad or anything, but the ride with this agency was crazy because it was COVID. Also, they weren't at the usual office. We were working in the garage of
someone's house.
Yeah,
okay.
of my ex-boss's house.
Yeah.
So it was insane, and I think there was about like 15 of us, like staff-wise.
It's a big team.
Yeah, it was.
It's a big team. It's a big team.
So yeah, that's where I was for the next 2 years.
Wow. So what you learning at this time? What you doing when you're there? What's your role?
So when I first started, I was hoping to get into a more creative role.
Okay.
But I didn't. Which was okay because as a small agency, you do work in like you
do everything. Sometimes
you do everything. Yeah, you collaborate a lot. So I could collaborate and like work with the content team and assist them. I could direct here, direct there. I could learn a lot as well. But I was specifically in the strategy team, so I was focusing on paid advertising, so PPC ads. And it was so boring. Oh my word.
But I can imagine how PPC really, like all paid media really took off COVID. I think that just became that. Oh, so you were biddable. Okay. Yes. How was that?
I think experience, it's a skill that nobody can ever take away from you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Learning how to run ads, to read insights.
Oh.
Not everyone can do that.
No.
To report back and give feedback and optimize and all of that.
ROAS,
agency
performance.
Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. Not everyone can do that, and it's a very underrated skill. So I did that for 2 years, but like I said, in between we were doing some creative work. And then I left because I felt like I wasn't growing. So because it was a small agency, and this is the thing with small agencies, the growth is slow.
No, it is.
And if you want to know more, at this point, after 2 years, I was already in management, like senior management at this company. So I was growing too fast for my liking.
And you hit the ceiling.
I hit the ceiling at this company.
At this stage, you might as well just fire the owner and take their job.
You know what I mean? Listen, we have to have another discussion after this. I can't talk about it on camera, but we'll talk about that.
Okay, bro. It's okay, cool. So the 2 years happen. What happens next?
Then I decide I'm going to look for another job because I wasn't really happy at the company anyway. And I decided I'm going to specialize in PPC to see, just as a test to myself, just to also like learn something new, like completely, and like I said, specialize in it, like perfect.
Yeah.
The one thing I believe in is working around people who do the same thing that you do.
Perfect.
So that you can learn from them. And that's exactly what happened. So I moved from Stellenbosch into town. We were in OBS to an agency there. I'll shout this agency out because I love them. Traffic Brand.
Which one?
They go by the name of Traffic Brand.
Traffic Brand. So shout out to Traffic Brand.
Shout out to Traffic Brand. Taught me a lot. Amazing group of people. Like a great community. Just a great environment to work in. But it wasn't for me. The PPC part of it. It was a lot of numbers. A lot of like, if you think that strategy is hard,
go to do that.
Go do PPC strategy.
Yeah, and anything paid media with numbers. And when the budgets get bigger,
everything needs to be backed up by numbers.
By numbers. And
as a creative, as someone that hates numbers, I was struggling. And shout out to my ex-boss manager for actually pushing me and asking me the question like, how you doing here? He told me, I know you are creative. Like, How are you doing here?
But that's great
job?
leadership, eh?
Yeah.
Those are great leaders. Like when they're able to have that kind of conversation with you.
And that's why I love that company so much, because their leadership was amazing. And I made a mistake. So the one thing with BBC and
I know, that's what you do. if you do any paid media, you're going to overspend. If you have not overspent, you haven't done the job.
You haven't done your job. You haven't learned, and I overspent by something like 20 grand, I think. And that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I overspent 200K, bro. What you say?
And I was like shaking. I was shaking. I thought I was gonna, I don't know.
Yeah, because
I thought I was
it's a
gonna
lot
go
of
to
money.
jail. But I wasn't, that wasn't like the most that they've lost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People have, like you said, 200K, 300, 500. People have overspent.
Yeah, people have really overspent, right?
And I was shaking in my boots. And my boss obviously called me in to talk about it. And he didn't obviously tell me that this wasn't the first one someone overspent. Because as a boss, you obviously don't want to do that. You don't want to make it seem like it's a normal
thing. Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be. But people do make mistakes.
But with the organization, the people just like, yeah, don't worry. I also did it.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. It's okay, like it happens. Yeah. And you try to make the most out of it. You try to do everything the right way. But at the end of the day, like there's going to be a mistake. Like not everything's going to go to plan. And he explained that to me. But he could also see that I wasn't passionate about it. That I didn't love what I was doing. And that was the reason why I was struggling. Because I had a lot of imposter syndrome. Everyone around me was so much smarter than me, but not in the thing that I love doing. So it made me feel less than.
Pause. Imposter syndrome. Can we just jump into that?
Can we run it back?
Yeah, let's just run back up. DJ, run back. How do you deal with imposter syndrome? I mean, obviously back then and now, but I'm just talking about now with the experience that you have got. How do you deal with it?
I still get it a lot. I still sit and I doubt myself and I doubt my capabilities. But I think what helps me is that I love what I do. And that I'm confident about my skill.
Yeah.
I'm confident about the experience that I have in it. But sometimes you get to new clients. Like, for example, I just signed a new American client. And this is like, it's only my second American client.
Yeah.
So I had to go in with a strategy, not knowing anything about the environment. Luckily for me, I've been there. I've been to America.
Yeah.
But that was like 10 years ago. Things change.
Traveling helps, right?
Traveling helps. It opens your mind to different things, different perspectives. You see people living a different way and you're inspired by it. And you can then see that, okay, the way I'm thinking, I don't have to think this way all the time. I can change my perspective and my way of thinking to adapt to this environment.
Wow.
So, yeah, I signed this new client and I was feeling very nervous about it because I was like, I don't think that we can do this. Like we don't have the resources for this. That's literally what was going on in my mind a week ago.
Wow.
But I still did the strategy. And as I was doing the strategy, I was just reminding myself, like through doing it, I was reminding myself that, you are actually good at what you do. And even if there's a lack of resources now, you've always made a way. Even when you had nothing, you made a way.
Oh, man, that's beautiful.
So you can do that now. You can figure it out. And a lot of the times we think, especially as business owners, we think that we can't go to our clients and ask them for help.
Yeah.
But you can.
You
can go to them
and ask and say, help me with this.
And you can be like, listen, like I'm having this problem here. I'm not sure. You don't know everything about their brand, firstly.
They know everything.
They know everything. So you have to go to
tap
them.
into them, yeah.
And ask them for help.
Collaborate. And when you start looking at it from a collaborative, like we're partners.
Yes,
exactly. It flows both ways. It's just something amazing. Wow.
Exactly. So I always struggle every day probably with imposter syndrome. I mean, I'm new in this business. It's been a year and a half now, and I don't know everything. I went into last week's conference as well. In my head, I was like, I'm probably going to be the youngest here. And I probably was. I know there was about 2 people that were younger than me. And I went in there and I was like, I'm the youngest person here. But, I had that thought. I was like, oh my word, what's a word? Inferior. I felt a little bit inferior. But then on the other end, I also was like, out of 6,000 applicants, I'm part of the 100 odd businesses that made it through to this round.
Wow.
So there must be something about me.
No, there is
about
something.
My business.
Yeah.
That got me here.
Oh, wow. That's
so
beautiful.
I need to wear that on my shoulder. I need to walk into this room with that energy.
You have to, and there's something I want to leave you with. I'm going to tell you, the bird on the tree is not afraid of the branch breaking because it believes in its wings. Don't forget your wings. You can fly. It can be stormy outside, but you can fly. Look after a crazy storm. The birds are flying.
They're still flying.
Don't forget your wings. We can always remember that you can fly. I'm telling you.
Period.
Sky's the limit.
Thank you so much.
Oh wow! So you at this place, and this is just at your second role. You've had this overspend. You have your manager coming back to you. I mean, you guys having this chat. How do things progress from there?
My boss is like, come to me on Monday and tell me what you want to do. Because either way, if you stay here and something goes wrong, I'm gonna have to let you go.
Hey.
You can make the decision now.
Okay.
He gave me the opportunity. But you know what's crazy is that, and if they knew this, they probably would have fired me. I was busy building the business before that already. I was preparing myself. I was going to therapy as well.
Yeah.
Talking to my therapist for months about how I wanted to leave my job, but I just didn't want to leave the stability.
Wow. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah. Exactly. Yo, I love you. Yo, that is a bar.
You have to speak it into existence, and that's what I strongly believe in. You have to attract what you want, and you were not making a decision at the time. Yes, you wanted security, but look how the universe had to give you that nudge.
Yes.
In the right direction, which was the overspend.
And I believe that is what happened.
So how was therapy? I mean, at the time.
If I can say anything to everyone about therapy, it's that it is needed.
Yeah, everyone should do it.
Everyone should at least go through therapy once in their life. And if you can afford it, keep it going. For me, therapy helped me just bring everything to the surface. So like I said, I had a very rough upbringing. Traumatic as well, so it brought everything to the surface, and that is the most difficult part. It's
just to strip yourself and just be bare.
Exactly. So when you're going through therapy, if it's your first time, especially if it's your first time, just know that you're going to be in a very vulnerable place, and you need to communicate that to the people around you as well. And you also need to be very gentle with yourself. Just understand that this is part of the process, and that you need to trust it.
Trust the process.
Yeah, and so therapy really helped open my eyes. It helped me become, I think it definitely helped me become the strong woman that I am today. Okay. Also, it helped me with my relationships with people as well, because I struggled with that a lot. So now I'm able to maintain, not only build, but also maintain relationships. Wow. And that's the reason why I went in the first place. I was like, I'm losing friends all the time. I'm losing people all the time. What can I do to make myself better? To be a better person to people, because I felt like I wasn't.
No, that's so beautiful, because it's there's always one common thing in all the challenges that you have, and it's you. So it's always very important to have that self-reflection, looking yourself in the mirror to say how else can you be a better person?
Yeah.
How else can you be kinder, or how else can you deal with things better above all? So Monday comes. What was your answer?
Monday comes and I sent my resignation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody knew, eh? No one knew. I think I only told two of my friends. Shout out to Kayla and Chelsea.
Yeah, shout out to them.
My girls. I only told them that I was planning to do this. Oh, no, and Keisha. told 3 of my friends. I didn't tell my parents. And remember, I usually tell my parents everything.
Yeah.
I usually go to them with a plan, but I didn't tell them at all. I didn't tell my colleagues. They were shocked.
Like, yo, girl, what's going on?
And
so what happens now? So can you resign? So did you leave with immediate effect or you served out your notice?
No, he gave me the option. He said, I'm going to pay you for this month, but you can leave by the end of the week.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I was like, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was honest, and that's the one thing that I love by just being honest about things, so that you don't need people by surprise. And people don't think that you're being weird
about things. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear
just tell your truth.
Yeah,
that's okay. Because everyone has a different truth. So I was very honest with him and straight up about it. We obviously had a meeting before I sent in my resignation letter. And I spoke to him and I told him this is what I want to do. And he was like, everyone wished me good luck.
Ah, man. So end of the week comes. You leave.
End of the week comes. I say
what
bye
happens
to
on
everyone.
Saturday morning? Where's your
headspace? Oh my word. I'm crying. The thing is, like, even though I was horrible at my job, I was still great with everyone there. You know?
But you weren't horrible. You were just learning.
I bolt, yeah.
No,
that part.
Yeah, you're horrible. You know, because they say if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will always think it's stupid.
Yeah. Facts.
So we can't judge.
The fish is not meant to climb a tree.
Thank you very much. You're creative, like you said. Exactly. Numbers are not your thing.
Exactly.
Like, as you said. So come Saturday, you resign. Where do you go?
I resign.
How does your journey proceed from there?
And then I tell my parents, and you know what my mom told me? Because they were so silent. They usually have a lot to say. And they were quiet. My dad didn't say much. But my mom was like, I knew you were going to do it. I just didn't know when.
Wow.
But I was expecting you to start and run your own business.
My mom's intuition is always right.
Oh, that woman.
And sometimes it's also the energy. You're at home at this time, right? You're living at home when you're working there.
Yes.
It's crazy because she's experiencing your energy. Yes. She's picking all this up. Yes. And it's crazy. Yeah. And how when you told her you resigned, she said, hey girl.
Until this day, my parents believe in me.
Wow.
Until this, like, they've never stopped, like, fueling that passion of mine. And so everything I do is for them. Like, obviously for me, because I have to put myself first, but everything that I'm doing now is for them.
So what happens now? Okay, so what year is this?
This is, where are we now? We're 2025. I think this is 2023.
Okay. Wow.
This is September, October 2023.
Okay, cool. Then.
And I go straight into it, I go full force into it. The week before, I think like 2 or 3 weeks before this happened, I already approached a potential client.
Okay.
And I was like, look, your Instagram is not doing great. Like, I think I can help you here. Let me come in. Let's chat about it. I want to hear you out.
Yeah.
Went to them, heard them out, heard what their thoughts were around social media. That's the most important part, especially with working with clients and not like other agencies or big corporations. If it's small businesses, go to them and listen to them first.
Yeah.
Go there with an open mind and hear them out. Hear what they actually think about social media. Yeah. What their perspective is on it. How they feel about it first before you go in straight with your
strategy. Hey guys, listen.
And your proposal. I want to do this and that and that. Go and listen to them. If there's one thing people love to do is they love to feel heard. They love to feel seen.
Wow, I love
that. That's what I do with most of my clients. Obviously, I had to turn that into something that's getting me money because it started taking up a lot of my time. So now I do consultations and I charge for it. It's like you go to a doctor, right? You go to a doctor or therapist for them to hear you out.
Yeah, you pay for that.
You know, you're paying for that service. So that's what I do now.
So you start your business now. You approach your first client. How does that go?
It went well. So funny enough, this was a client that was a client of mine when I was doing photography years ago. I shot a daughter's first birthday.
Wow. Full circle.
Full circle moment. So they have a swim school in the area that I'm from, Strandfontein, and I just felt there was a lot of potential there, you know, because they have this community that they don't really
harness.
They don't harness their community. They weren't at that point, and when we worked out their strategy, that was the main goal, was to just harness the community.
Yeah, because
to maintain it.
Yeah, because it's others around that are going to really be the people who are going to grow your business. If you can't sell it to your neighbor,
Exactly. What's the
John
point?
from the other neighborhood ain't gonna
He's
buy
not
it.
gonna buy it. And I was literally speaking to a client about this today. A lot of people, so Friends and Family Agency, I don't know if you know Savannah, Savannah and her husband. So they posted something about virality, and that one of the points that they were making was that a lot of people just want to go viral all the time. That's what I got out of it. And then I reposted it, and one of my clients messaged me, and she was like, yeah, I think I'm struggling with this now. So we don't do their strategy for them. We just do their content for them.
Okay.
And I told her, like, yes, a lot of people, a lot of businesses come to me, and I'm sure they come to a lot of agencies, and they were like, they just want to go viral.
Yeah, everybody has. I mean, it's almost every brand that just has that, make me some viral content.
Can we stop? Can we stop? What is that going to bring you? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, especially as someone who's worked in the industry for quite some time, who even like I test on my own page. Like, you'll see me, I post on my own personal page just to test the brand and everything.
You
like,
got to.
Virality doesn't bring you much.
No, it doesn't.
You need to have a strong foundation first. Yeah. So I was explaining to her, and I know we're getting off topic now, but I really want to talk about
we're on topic. We're right on topic. We're right on topic. Whenever off, we are right on topic.
I explained to her, I said, look at it like this, right? You have a brand that you want people to buy into. You want people to use their hard-earned money to buy your product that you want. Not anyone is just going to do that. So when you have a goal of going viral, that's everyone.
Yeah, that's
right.
Correct.
You don't have this community, number one, and you don't have the advocacy.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Brand advocacy is important, very important.
So instead of thinking about going viral, getting 50K views on a post, or even putting money behind.
Build your community, man.
For ads. Can we stop? You know, can we just take a step back and think about what it is that we want as a brand?
Yeah.
And the first thing is always community.
Yeah, it's always.
Because that same community is going to become advocates.
Correct.
And that same advocate is going to refer you. They're going to tell people about you. They're going to fight for you when you can't.
Yeah.
So, for example, PR crisis.
Yes.
Something goes horribly wrong. One of your products is off, or whatever it is, right? That advocates, that community that you maintained, that community that you fed, that you made sure was good, right? That same people is going to turn around and have your back in that time when you are at your lowest as a business.
Yeah.
And that is important.
Just give
that is where sustainability comes in.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I'm very like passionate about that part of it, is that if you come to me and you're like, I just want to go viral, I want to get as much numbers as possible, I'm not your agency. Sorry. I can't be, because that's not the right way to go about it. So
brand building,
it's important.
Yeah, look, it is. And
so we were talking about
and small brands I know struggle a lot with brand building. Just due to budget limitations, etc.
But you can do it with minimal budget.
Yeah, I know you can. No, definitely you can. I guess, but you said something earlier on which I really like. Speak to your client. Have those honest conversations. Like, I have those guys. How much money do you guys really have? Versus what does it cost? And be able to just say, look, with X, here's what we can do. Here are the parameters we can work around with X. And that's pretty much where I found myself lately. Because not everyone is going to have that kind of budget where you can just say, okay, let's do a TV ad. Okay, let's do a radio ad. Those things cost money, right? To your point. But I just love community-based thinking when it comes to building brands. Back to you.
Yeah. And then from there, the main goal with that client, like going back to like we had all started, was to build a community. And that was my first client, and they're still a client today.
Wow, and this is about 18 months back?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is and they are my biggest advocate. When I tell you, Rushana from Little Mermaids will go out to each and every single business that she knows, and she will talk about me. And that's...
What's the name of the business?
The Lesson, Little Mermaid Swim School.
Little Mermaid Swim School, shout out to them. The link is right somewhere here. The link is somewhere right here. So... What is Pretty Bird Inc.?
Pretty Bird and Co.
And Co.
Yeah. Pretty Bird and Company. That's the full
perfect
word. But I'm registered as House of Pretty Bird. So remember, let's take it back again.
Yeah, the holding company.
Remember Frankie Aubert, the art center that I wanted to build?
Yes.
That will be called the House of Pretty Bird.
Oh.
And I eventually do get to the point.
But I love the fact that it's like it's your trading. Wow.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So just tell us more about your business, please.
But I had to start somewhere. So even though that was the big goal, I had to start somewhere, and I had to build. So basically, what Pretty Bird and Co. is, Pretty Bird and Company, we believe in collaboration as far as possible. So we collaborate with our clients, we collaborate with freelancers. We offer a number of services.
Okay.
So we offer consultation, consulting. We do, our main service is content creation, and mostly and predominantly for social media.
Okay.
And then we also do distribution. So whether you want to distribute it on your website, on ads, on press, any type of media, we can help you distribute it, right? And then we also do a little bit of advertising as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
So the core you are your speciality is content production.
Content production, yeah.
Okay.
And then we also obviously specialize in social media management.
Okay.
And that's one of our biggest. That's what people come to us for the most, is they want help with their social media. Yeah, and then what else were we?
Just about your brand. I mean, we're putting on Pretty Bird and Company, man. We need to push the brand.
Yeah.
So this cut up will be introducing just Pretty Bird and Company. So tell us more about your business. Tell us what's exciting about being a young person of color running their own business. What's really exciting about that?
I think with me, firstly, what I always wanted to do was help my community. When I was working for the agency, or for the last few agencies, we were working with a lot of corporates.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, yeah, people need this, corporate needs this. And then I realized, but small businesses also need this. But they don't really have corporate funds.
Correct.
To do it. And I wanted to make digital marketing specifically, or that services accessible to SMEs. I started in Cape Town, but we're now in Joburg, we're now in America.
Yeah.
So that was the first mission. That was my first goal of the business and why I started the business. And then this is where the House of Pretty Bird comes in. Creative entrepreneurs don't have enough resources. They don't have the assistance or the mentorship to help them build a business out of their creative passions and what it is that they want to do. That's what I was noticing. I didn't have it. Everyone around me was doing businesses in different things, but it wasn't creative entrepreneurship. Right? And a few years back during COVID, actually, I met a guy called Daewun Owusu. He is a director. He's also multifaceted, but the one thing that stood out the most to me was that he was a director and award-winning director, by the way.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Daewun. And he became my mentor at that stage, and he helped me with a lot of things. So he helped me, I don't want to say he helped me set up my business, but he helped me get into that business mind frame of mind.
And you need that. And you really need, especially because the entrepreneurship journey is it's a lonely journey. It can be.
So imagine you're a creative, or an artist, or a graphic designer, or a photographer. I remember when I was starting out in photography, I didn't know how to run a business, like I said earlier on. There was no one there to teach me how to run a photography business properly. Do you know how much videographers I've worked with that don't even have a business bank account? Why am I sending money to your Capitec account?
Most of them. I mean, I'm the
Can
same
we
boat.
just? Do you know what I mean? We need the thing, and I'm not judging, but if you want other people to take your business seriously,
you also have to elevate it.
You need to take your business seriously.
I guess that's where there's an opportunity then, because, you know, with us, especially people of color, money management is even hard, just personally. Before we even talk about business, right? Money management, to even understand things like savings, right? Becomes so hard. And I also learned it as I went. And the truth is, I also learned it from our Caucasian friends. That's the truth also, you know. I also learned it there. I didn't know it as much. But the one thing, hence this podcast is there, hence we're having these conversations. And you, the creative photographers, guys, register your business.
Please.
Open that bank account. Be professional. Get the domain. This djdash@gmail.com business, it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. You also have a Gmail address. But sometimes businesses really are going to take you more seriously when you have these certain things.
Yeah.
When you can email info@creativelens.com. You know, there's a different feel it gives, especially when you're approaching organizations, when you're approaching people to want to help you. That's almost how they filter out the jokers and the non-jokers.
Yeah.
Right? So you might be so good, but
what you do.
But your gmail.com.
Yeah, or I'm sending your money to a Capitec account.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And listen, that was me in the beginning.
Yeah, it's everyone, I guess.
If I'm going to be honest, I still have a Gmail account.
No, I do.
That's only because we had to redo our website, get a new domain last year, towards the end of the year. So we basically had to start over. But just legitimize yourself as a creative entrepreneur.
Yeah, for you to actually stand out. Branding, going back to branding, right?
Exactly.
Self-branding.
Exactly.
Guys, LinkedIn. Come now, guys. LinkedIn. It's free.
It's free. Instagram, free.
Instagram, it's free.
Facebook, free. TikTok, free. There's many ways, you know.
So Pretty Bad, right now, sitting right there where you are, how are things? Now, I mean, you've shared your journey to this point. How are you feeling about things and business in general right now?
I'm feeling a lot, if I'm going to be honest. I'm also feeling very grateful. Like if that's one of the things that, like, if I'm just thinking about what comes up first, is that I'm grateful and I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Last year, this time, I was struggling.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Today, I can sit here and say that I'm okay. I'm not worried. My faith is strong.
Yeah.
And I believe that if I put in the work, if I keep building, if I keep learning, because that's the most important part for me, is that I don't know everything. And there's always room to learn.
Yeah.
That for me just makes me feel good. So regardless of how things are going in the business, as long as I'm trying and I'm waking up every day and I'm like, okay, this is my to-do list for the day.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to get better today. Every day is a stepping stone to the final goal. That's how I see it. I'm good.
Good. And how are you, as an entrepreneur, how do you continuously keep yourself motivated?
I don't. If I'm being real, I'm not always motivated.
I know, right?
I'm not always inspired. But I need to get that bag.
Yeah, I know.
And the only way I'm going to get it is if I get out of bed.
That's correct. Get out and go out.
Exactly.
So how do you maintain that? What keeps you going? Is it music? Is it working out? Is it family? Is it friends? Because I've also been blessed to have, a very strong community, like, Roger over there to our right who's helping us with the show.
Shout out to Roger.
Yeah, he's from Kenya and he arrived 2 weeks ago. Last week,
wow.
2 weeks ago, yeah. But we met at OBM.
Oh wow.
And him just being here as a creative has also been very instrumental. Again, it's just getting the energy from others. This is not a solo sport. It's not a solo sport, And I've also just been blessed to have a community of also entrepreneurs, shout out to the Brock boys, Ace, Insert Coins, the guys over there, Malcolm, Refuse. These are all young entrepreneurs. Solo from Backyard, Rough, just doing the names here, multifaceted, Black Tony Stark. Everyone who has really come onto the show is an entrepreneur. everyone who's come onto the show is someone who's also defining things in their own way, you know. Everyone's journey is very similar. Everyone is learning off YouTube. So just listening to these stories for me many times, and to Rigby and Alu also, you know, to Shakes, all these young entrepreneurs, we've just since, you know, they tell me, like Shakes will call me like, uncle. You know, when I'm down bad, you just call me, yo, uncle, where you at? Motion.
Yeah.
So these are the things, and I'm really looking forward to us also, you know, connecting more. I would love to see you more.
Definitely.
I would love to hang out with you more, you know, and just we can just share elements, and just also I would love to contribute some time to your organization wherever you need help. Even if it's like, yo, Unc, can you look at this document? You know, we can sign an NDA. But for me, it's beyond NDAs. You know, it's just us trusting each other as creators in the city, as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Because if we don't help each other, no one is coming to save us, you know.
Period.
When Mateki said they found us, look at the Americans, they're here. They're here in the city.
Sure.
Like, and we need to also position ourselves to work with them.
Yeah.
There's a big shift that's happening in the city.
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, I cannot not shake that to say, guys, how are we preparing ourselves for this wave that's coming?
Yeah.
Are we also going to make money? Are we also going to get these dollars?
That's the only way. I'm kidding.
Yes, or what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and also emphasis on we.
Yeah.
We need to do it together.
And that's why the podcast is
Wherever
there.
we're going, we need to go together.
Because it can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And just understanding, you know.
We used to have conversations. So last year, like I said, I worked with some freelancers, and one of them was Jason Disposable. He was on this podcast also.
Yeah.
And we used to have conversations about this all the time, like just helping each other.
How do we help
you
each
know?
other?
How do we assist in each other's growth? You know, how do we give each other opportunity?
Correct.
That's the most important part.
It is.
You know, if I see something that I feel like you can do, I'm not going to try to do it. I'm going to give it to you.
That's it.
Because you deserve it.
And that's how it needs to be.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So the one thing that, like, I realized, something I was thinking about on the way here. Obviously, I was like role playing. I was like, okay, how am I going to talk on this podcast? I'm just going to come as my own. And I was like, you know, when you're in the shower, then you're like rehearsing. I was doing that while I was driving. And one thing that came up the most was faith.
Oh.
And you need to be so spiritually strong when you are running a business.
Oh, you have to.
Spiritually, you need that strength. You need your faith in whatever it is that you believe in.
You have to.
You need to stay grounded in that. Because if you don't, you will lose.
You'll be swept away.
You're
I
gone
love
with the
that.
wind. You know?
Faith.
And since I've started this 18 or so months ago, I've been on that journey of faith. My journey with God has been,
Amen.
my relationship with God has been the strongest that it's ever been in my life. And I went to church since I was a kid. You know what I mean?
And I hear you.
My parents met in church.
Wow.
You know, that's how, like,
strong your roots are into the
Exactly.
church. Yeah.
And I'm not a religious person, but I do believe in
A spiritual
God.
person, yeah.
So that is one of the things that kept me going.
Wow.
He kept me going.
Yeah.
When I didn't know, when I didn't have anything, like and I can promise you there was a few times where I had nothing, zero in my bank account.
No, you know.
But I told him, you are going to make a way, and I know this, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't.
You know, as an entrepreneur, cash flow is always the most stressing thing out, and some clients have 45-day date of invoice payments or 30-day. And I can really connect with that sentiment. I don't know to tell you, I can really connect because I've been there. I'm like where I eventually have told myself, just through the faith, trusting the process, like it's going to come together.
Yeah.
I have to believe. I can't afford to think negatively about any situation.
Yeah.
You just cannot afford it because that seed can grow.
It can grow. Exactly.
And then before you know it, you're asking yourself, but should I be doing this?
Why am I doing this? You applying for jobs.
I no more even apply for
You're
jobs.
updating your CV.
I know, right? You have to also remove those habits.
Yeah. I deleted my CV.
Yeah, that's it. Why do I need it? You have to remove those habits, and it's wow. You know what? You and I need to. We need to hang out some more, man.
We can go on forever. No?
Yeah, like
Are we doing episode 2?
Yeah, I can know because I'm really connecting with that. It's that. It's just faith is the evidence of things unseen.
Period.
Wow.
Period. And I stand on that.
Wow.
But then another thing is people.
Ooh.
And just like any business, like we spoke about, needs a community. We also need people. Like I've had people in my life for the past year. Like I said, my relationship grew stronger with the people in my life. And the people I have now in my life, very small group of people. I might not see them all the time.
But you know that
they come in the moments when you need them the most. They will send you that message. They will tell you, like, for example, and I'm speaking about it a lot, but our relationship has really grown throughout this year that we've been partners. But Rushana, like, she will send me a message on a random day, and that message will be exactly what I needed, right? Shay, for example, my content manager, she's also one of my best friends that I get to work with. Like, it's amazing. She will show up for me in ways that's like unimaginable. Like, for example, we had a gig in Joburg and I didn't have a place to stay. She was like, come stay with me. Because she's originally from Joburg. Yeah. And she happened to be there that week also that we were working there. And her dad lives in Joburg. And her dad was like, okay, come through. We shared a bed. You know, that's the things, like when you're coming up, the people that are there for you, that give you a place to stay, that give you like a shoulder to cry on, that lend an ear for you to listen to, that give you that encouragement when you need it. And they don't even know you need it. They just send it to you because they feel like...
They've just been them.
Exactly.
They're just showing you some love.
Exactly. That for me in this like year and some months that I've been doing this, like, it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's exactly
tribe.
What I needed.
That's it. It's when you have the right tribe, it's not 20 people. Like you said, it's usually those little few who really show up for you. Yeah. And like this journey of being an entrepreneur is, guys, it's not for everyone.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. And there's a mindset shift that you just have to have. You have to remove all, you have to move the word can't in your head, basically. You even have to change your vocabulary. Remove words that reduce. You have to be in a different space and the people around you matter. Because they're the ones that will help you thrive, nurture in terms of your mindset.
Exactly.
Oof, man.
Exactly. And then also my mentor, Daewon, like, even though he wasn't here in South Africa,
he showed up.
He showed up. 1 hour calls.
Oh.
Or I can ask him anything. I can phone him now and ask him anything about business.
And there you go.
And he'll be so willing to share. And that's one thing I learned about him and what I'm trying to do now within my business and just with the people around me. Share your knowledge. Share what you know. You're going to lose nothing but gain. Because if more people know, you're stronger.
You're stronger. That's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Man. So in closing, like, what would you like to share and leave us with?
What would I like to share and leave you with?
The pressure.
The pressure is getting worse.
It's getting worse. Yes.
Wow, there's a lot. Just give me a minute.
It's all good. I mean, we're out here. You know, you can get as much time as you want.
I think there's a lot that we spoke about now that people could take away from this conversation. But I think if there's one thing that I want to stand on, and just reiterate and say again, is that you can do it. As a young colored woman, I'm turning 30 next year, but I'm still young. You know,
shout out to you.
Shout out to my 30s.
Yeah, girl, you've lived there.
As a young colored woman, as a woman that lives in a society and a culture that expects there's a lot of expectations around us colored women.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for colored women.
Mm.
You know, you need to live a certain life. There's only one way of living your life, right? And it's changing now. But if there's something burning inside of you, something that you want to do, even if it doesn't work out in the end, just do it. You never know where it's going to take you. I knew that I was this outgoing, this wild, dramatic. If everyone in my group of people, my community, were to say one thing about me, they would say I'm dramatic.
What's the sign of you?
I'm Aquarius.
Okay.
And you?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, lovely. I know a few Virgos. You Virgos?
We're dramatic.
Yeah, if there's something burning, if there's a passion inside of you that you, even if it's a hobby, just do it. Like, you don't have to have this life that everyone is telling you to live. You can live it in your own terms. You can live it in your own way. Obviously, ethically, of course, please. Let's do things the right way. But you can do it. And I'm speaking to colored women specifically. You can do it if you want to. You can break out of the societal norms. You can live a life that you dream of. You don't need a man.
Amen to that.
You just need your community of people that believe in you and nurture that community, maintain it. I know it's difficult, especially as a business owner. I don't always have time or energy, but I show up for the people that care about me and who I care about. So, yeah, I think you can do it. And I'm going to stand on that.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, and just to also leave you with something from us.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing your story. Very powerful. I just also want you to know that I know you said you can do it. I want you to know that you are doing it. And I want you to know that I'm really proud of the work you're putting in. You're really inspiring. And you are really a big hope to the younger ladies, the younger females, people of color, the colored community. You are a pillar and a motivating force. So thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for continuously believing in yourself. Thank you for pushing through on those days that you can't push through. I know this road is not the easiest road to travel. I know it firsthand too. But I just want you to know that you've got this. Thank you for continuously being who you are. And keep going. And don't forget about that bird. The bird on the tree is not afraid of the branch breaking because it believes in its wings. Please don't forget your wings. Please, when you feel pressured, remember you can fly. Trust your wings. Trust yourself. So this is us from Creative Lens. I'm your host, Uncle Dyce. And this is Malum. And this is another great episode with Lauren Prettybird from Prettybird & Co. Thank you for being here today. We out.
Thank you so much. Thank you.